Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. More on Daniel Martell and shares insight about Mother and Jack and Lily Sullivan. Malaya books Murray and Lily seemed excited the last time he saw her, which he says. There's so much going on with Daniel coming out. I mean, I said it before. It seems like a crusade to tell the world that he's got nothing to hide and that he's innocent, and he feels that he's been attacked left, right, and centre by the public. In that he knows what happened or was responsible for basically Jack and Lily Sullivan missing or possibly dead. I mean, the problem we've got is that we don't know what's happened to these children, whether they're still alive or they're dead, which is horrible to say. But like I said, it needs to be a discussion until if they are found alive. I think a lot of people will have to apologise to Daniel. But we're in a situation, we're in limbo at the moment where we want to believe Daniel. He seems like he's the kind of guy that wouldn't hurt a fly. But how many times we've looked at those cases and believed in someone and they've let us down, and we realise they're a little bit crazy. I mean, people want to believe in it. I can see it, but it's very very hard to believe in without because those kids are still missing. Let's get into this, people. So because when he faces heavy criticism, mine leaves me facing heavy outpours of claims like false, obviously propaganda, and then he goes on. He's saying that he doesn't know the names of the characters involved, but one day individuals will have to pay for the enormous circus of fuckery this case has become. That's a really good point because it has become a bit of a circus for with all the family coming out. I'm only reading some of it, people, but you can go through this yourselves. So technically, Daniel says Malaya being silent, she may have something to hide. And obviously, he's messaging hidden in the fog where they've had many conversations. I mean, look, he has been through a lot where technically he's lost his own child with Malaya, and the two stepchildren are missing. And it must be a lot of pressure, especially when you want people to understand that you are innocent. It is, but like I said, until these kids found, yeah, Daniel said a lot, but he hasn't led us to the kids, and this is a problem. It's nice to have that grace period of a couple of days to prepare for attacks. That's sad. That is sad, to be honest with you. But like I said, but like sometimes you keep putting yourselves out there, people are going to react to it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's almost like he enjoyed basically sort of turning up on the news and uh, people's podcasts and stuff. He said every question I could answer with confidence because I did nothing. Yeah, he did answer them confidently. He has been transparent and honest, I think, at this moment. But there's still something at the back of my head thinking, where are those kids? And that is the number one subject at the moment. And he talks about the polygraph. I never murdered the two children. They buy me food and coffee. the police. It's almost is that he's telling the world, look, I'm doing everything in my power to prove my innocence. Sometimes you can. The problem is sometimes you can actually try. That's sad, that is, but sometimes you can try too hard to prove something that people can stop believing you because it's too. Some things are too perfect, and life's not like that anymore. And it's a shame. We take small breaks. He vapes with them. I draw maps to hidden treasures. No, I really draw a map of area I searched during the time they wanted. Recall days in advance, min by min. They drive me home afterwards, like 140, 150 on the highway. 110, Susan says, hidden in the fog. Thanks for correcting me. I appreciate it. It seems like he sort of talks adventure, sort of like it's an adventure in a way. It's strange. Maybe that I don't know whether it's mental health problems or whether it's the drugs that he'd been taking before has affected him. Okay, just answer the question, said hidden in the fog. I'm sure you think you have answered, but not really. So to be clear, just say yes or no. Have you ever been told you are under arrest? Daniel says, never technically detained. I've never committed a criminal offence or even been accused of a criminal offence. So he's come back quite strongly there, to be honest with you. And he just believes that people are trying to harm his character. And he's worried about what the kids are going to listen to when they get older. And he's got a point, to be honest with you. Susan then goes on to say, okay, well, you've answered my questions well enough. Which he has, to be honest with you. I think he's always been transparent with the police, the searchers. That was a little bit odd about basically the dog handler police was asking for some kind of confession from him. That was really, really strange. Can you anyone tell me whether anything come of that, whether the police mentioned it? Because that was really, really bizarre a couple of videos back. I mean, look, if he's legit in what he was saying, and like I said, the kids are found and it's said that he's hasn't had anything to do with them, I will feel really, really sorry for him at the end of the day because, like I said, people know that I think he can be a bit vulnerable as well. But still, we don't want to hear that he's had anything to do with the children missing if it comes out at a later date. Freeze frame. As time goes on, I look back at those moments. I can almost freeze frame them because I lay in bed so many times playing them over like an endless loop. She seemed excited, Susan. No Barbie t shirt. Oh, I can say that. Why was she excited? What did she have on? Jack was sleeping a little after midnight on May the 1st, flicked on the lights and looked in both asleep. I never seen him. May the 2nd. Mm. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, this case, because you don't know which way to turn at the end of it. And the problem is, as well, you've got to be careful because you wanted to send Daniel over the edge as well, where we don't know the truth. at the end of the day, because that's a possibility with so much pressure on him. And it sounds to me like it's taken his toll a bit. And his way of talking about it is mentally sort of talking, to just express himself and keep talking. Whereas we know you've got to be a bit balanced, go quiet for a week or two and then say something, or just talk. Tell us that you're still liaising with the police and this is the latest. Did Lily say anything? Not the first time, but the second time, yes. I went over this time, as I said, in my head over and over, trying to find details or clues to help Susan. She either said hi, Dad, or hello, Dad. I remember before I thought she didn't say anything, but time passes and everything becomes clearer. Mission becomes clear, evidence builds, leads are followed up on, the time continues to tick, the individuals involved, but the batteries in the watch only last so long. Interesting stuff, but like I said, you would know whether your kid said hello or not at the end of the day. I know you're probably a bit sleepy because your young kid maybe kept you awake at night, but it's just still bizarre. And I don't know. I want to believe in Daniel. I want to believe in that Malay is telling the truth as well, but I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. Yeah, so that's the end of it, people. Let me know what you think. I'm just going to go into chat to see what people think. I feel his words give vibes of dead silence. Interesting. It's disheartening to witness someone divulging all possibilities and information and still not being believed. Yeah, it is. It is. And like I said, I just hope he don't get ill over it. Honestly, couldn't imagine being in Daniel's shoes, going through, not knowing what happened to your stepkids. I wholeheartedly believe that he didn't have anything to do with these children going missing. We all know who's behind it. Let's just hope that a conclusion happens soon for the sake of those children's and also the sake of his mental health as well. Yes, justice. Val says, thank you very much for your tremendous work to update us as much as you can. Appreciate it. I think at this point, it doesn't matter if Daniel was doing any kind of rugs, despite of all the things he has been going through. He is the one who stays decent human being, never blame anyone, but it's very sad that instead of getting all together to unite to find the children, everyone's pointing the finger at each other. Very, very true. That's very, very true. That's some really good points there. But like I said, we can't go around pointing the finger. Even me in the early days was thinking, oh my God, I hope the parents haven't killed the kids or done anything to them, to be honest with you. But like I said, he's kept the same energy that I saw in the early part of the case. Nothing's changed. I know there's a couple of things that are muddled up, but like I said, I think he's a little bit muddled up as well. And like I said, I think that we need to just wait until what the police do next before, like I said, we evaluate whether this person had done something or not. But I think the truth will come out. But it could take weeks, it could take months, it could take years. But hopefully, we will eventually find the truth. Let me know what you think, people, as Daniel Martell comes back out talking to Hidden in the Fog. Don't forget to subscribe to Hidden in the Fog and myself, Streamline Entertainment. Thank you very much indeed.